everybody. Welcome to another edition of Ask Us Anything. It is Sunday night, and from lockdown in Okaloosa Island, Florida, in the Panhandle along the Emerald Coast, we're Mike and Jennifer, and we are glad to have you guys all with us tonight.
Yeah, does that look good? We got both the microphones in there. I just moved my microphone.
I hope they. Well, I can never quite get you close enough to the mic, you know. And, these are our podcast microphones, and normally we talk like this, but it's a little. Sometimes it's a little challenging when we go live. Lots of you on tonight, and that is really exciting. First one on was Henry Rosa in New York City from the heart of the COVID-19 outbreak. Henry, thank you for being with us. I hope you're safe, and we're glad to see you online. First question from Davis, Tandy, and Buster. Have you started to make plans yet? We have reservations in mid-June, can always reschedule. That's the way to do it. I think I just was working, we were finishing up the newsletter, and I wrote in the newsletter that goes out tomorrow that I think, we are a couple more weeks of this, but we're going to be able to get out here by summer. And summer, as you know, starts in June. So I think you guys are in great shape.
Oh, a cold nose just hit me.
Bo comes by every time we're on the air. And he puts that cold nose right on you. Yeah.
I get the cold nose.
Yeah, it's been crazy. So anyway, we're pretty excited about that. Florida opened up some of the beaches in Jacksonville, and I want to just give you a quick thing. Did you see some of the media had pictures that showed, massive crowds? Most of those were file photos, or they were shot with a telescopic lens, which compresses everything. I saw drone footage of the Jacksonville beaches that were taken yesterday and Friday evening, and it wasn't anything like the media has been showing it. People were socially distant. There weren't that many. It's only locals that are out. So I'm right where I'm believing that you can't believe anything on the internet except us. We're going to try and tell you all the truth.
We'll try.
But anyway,
it's easy to get tricked.
It is easy to get tricked. It happens all the time. So check everything out. And it could be that the drone footage was at a different section. I don't know. But, there's just so much advocacy on all sides of this issue in particular, but everything. So take it all with a grain of salt and check things out yourself. John DePietro up in New England. I give you guys all the credit in the world for doing so many live gigs a week. Always enjoy watching. Thank you, John. We enjoy having you with us. John and his partner, Bob Zagami, have been longtime friends of ours. They do a great internet show, New England RV Dealers. I think it's on Tuesday nights, I think, that you guys are on. I might be wrong, but John will type it in there and we'll get it correct. But good for you. KK Kayak, good evening from sunny Monticello, Washington, where I'm enjoying the Call of the Loon on White Lake.
Sounds nice.
Looks like good weather, and springtime is starting to come. You had a lot of snow, everybody in the upper Midwest this past week. Linda Ward is one of the first ones on from Mercer County, New Jersey. She said, I enjoyed watching your Key West video. It brought back some great memories from a couple years ago. We started producing and releasing our videos, our travel videos again yesterday. We did a brief hold during the height of all these lockdowns. We didn't want to be encouraging people to go out traveling. And now we did on yesterday, we released on Key West. We visited Key West a month ago and got out. And just a day or so after we got out of Key West, they shut the whole place down so nobody could come in. And we've started to put dates on the video. So, but the idea is now that we see some light at the end of the tunnel, that we're going to start producing our travel videos again after holding them off. And we've been doing a lot of special ones, like we now do a Friday night live campfire here, a virtual campfire. And we'll do that as long as we're all locked down. Then we'll be replacing that with more travel videos too. But we've got a lot of travel videos, and we're going to start releasing them again. And if you haven't seen our Key West one, it came out yesterday, and it's right here on the YouTube channel. So hope you enjoyed it. Have you ever owned a travel trailer, or have you always owned Class B, B pluses, and why?
Yes, we have owned a travel trailer, and when we had one child, and it was a little 13-foot Shasta. No bathroom inside.
There's one that looks just like it now, but they say it's the retro look because, gosh, it was brand new when we got it. And we liked it. Didn't have a bathroom. That was the biggest thing. And then we moved from that to a pop-up camper. And we use that. We camped in that with 3 kids and a dog. About both size. And then we went to tents. How's that? We went from a trailer to a pop-up to tents. And we did that for many years. And now we've been for the last 8 years in smaller motorhomes, Class B or B pluses. So we like them all. The only thing we haven't done is a Class A. We've never, I think I've been in a Class A just, at RV shows, but we've never been in a Class A. And we like the smaller motorhomes.
Bo wants an A.
Bo wants an A. He just wants a room.
Yeah.
Yep. So Chris Phyllis is one of our moderators, and she reminds everybody type in question like that, all in caps, so that as I'm scrolling here and controlling what questions we take and stuff, I can see that, hey, here's a question. And we always do the first few people that are on and put them up to say hi. But as we get several hundred of you watching us live, it's hard to get everybody, and we want to hit questions. And if you have a comment, do like Edward does, and take and put comment. And I don't know what he's talking about, bringing back the oldies with that picture. I don't know. I haven't the slightest clue what he is speaking of. So, but anyway, he had a comment. Joseph and Karen, thanks for being a voice of reason in a world gone mad. It is, and everybody is starting to get touchy. Have you noticed that? Mm-hmm. Including us, right? We're getting a little cranky. But I think I'm just amazed at how well everybody has done, and particularly the RV community. I got a lot of hassle from people about 6 weeks ago when we first started saying, look, if you're in an RV now, get someplace and stay there. And people, oh my gosh, you would not have believed the feedback I got. Angry notes. I had one today that I just deleted. Remember from that. I could see where it was going, and people were so mad. And now, but everybody caught on to that, and we've all done that, most of them. And people are doing a really good job, except right here in Florida. You see that kid there?
Yeah.
The beaches are closed here. And they probably will be for another week. And the reason the beaches are closed isn't because they're worried about too many people who live here, like we're in our condo that live here. They're worried about tourists coming in. And so they've shut them down. But it's a beautiful day for surfers out there today. And I looked, and Jennifer called me just as we were going on, and there's a surfer that ran through, snuck out there, and he's catching some waves.
He was like a streaker. He was running as fast as he could, and he jumped out there. And he's only been out there 5 minutes, and now he's back in.
Was
he
that the
doesn't
same
want to
one?
get a ticket. That's the same.
Oh, he got another board.
Same kid.
He got a different board. That's the same kid.
No, he's carrying it in.
He's gone out to the place next door. Yeah. So we're not going to tell you exactly where we are because we're on our way to call the cops on him. He's just out there in the surf, and there's nobody around.
He only stayed out 5 minutes. I don't know what the fine is for going in the water, but the poor kid.
Yeah. Hey, when the surf's up, man, you got to go, right?
Yeah. Usually I see the kids sneaking out at night. This is still daylight.
Linda says, how do you manage charging all of your equipment in your leisure travel van? I only just realized how many things I have that needed charging. iPhone, multiple cameras, drone, tablet, and laptop. I hope I can remember that question, Linda, because I think the best thing for me to do is do a video and show you how I've done it. And can I show everybody what you're doing? See Jennifer's hand? It's up there. It's because Bo is right there. There's
and every time I quit petting him, I get a cold nose.
I think Bo is here for me to remind everybody to go sign up for his Instagram page. Forget about ours. You can see all the addresses right down below, right down there. See that?
Bo's letting us know that it's almost his walk time.
Yeah, that's what he's doing, and he's afraid we aren't going to be walking. But anyway, I'll do a video on it. But there are enough plugs for me to do, all my cameras, which I charge every night, the laptops, and all of that stuff on their phones. I use USB plugs for most of the phones, and I have picked up a couple of USB-C 12 volt with 12 volt chargers on them that I can run off the cigarette lighter. I've got a couple of those so we can charge our laptops. We got big heavy duty ones that'll charge the laptop. I'll do that. I'll put that in the video sometime. If I can get a couple more questions like that, we can make a whole video out of it. So Linda, that was a good question. And thank you. Aloha, I'm just going to say this because it's the longest one so far tonight. Jay Han is in Oahu, Hawaii. Hey, if you could see the waves that they're surfing here compared to what you've got in Hawaii, you'd laugh because up here they're 4-footers, maybe a 5-footer every now and then. That's pretty good. Snow Crustacer, or whatever, I can't pronounce that, says, I want to go camping right now. Ugh, everybody does, right? We all want to go out there, and we wish we were. And it's just nuts. Renee says, hi from gorgeous Michigan. Just got back from a Jeep drive along M29. Say hi to Canada from all of you.
Said hi.
Said hi to Canada. Oh, when you're up on 29. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you much. Hey, I want to just take a quick break and update you on something, and then shamelessly make a plug for my granddaughter. A few months ago, really, maybe it was a year ago, I showed a picture that our granddaughter, Elizabeth, did on Bo, the elk hound. And it was one she made of Bo, and some of you actually ordered pictures of your pets with it. She's quite an artist, and she is in a contest. And I said that I am going to give it a plug. So it's a contest. If she wins it, and it's all by how many votes you get online. If she wins it, she gets to illustrate a book, and that is what she wants to do. So here is the address that I'm going to put up, if you can. I made a simple link to it.
Aren't you going to put up a couple pieces of her work so people can?
I don't have time.
Oh,
I mean, she just called me like 10 minutes before I went on the air. So
Okay.
I was lucky to get that. I had to make it's a real long URL, and I made we call it a pretty link, a short one. But if you go there, you'll see she's listed there as Elizabeth B. You may have heard us call her as Wawa. That's also what we call her in the family, but it's Elizabeth B. And I think there's some samples of her work there. I don't know, but you can vote for her. And she wants to illustrate that book. And if she gets enough votes, hey, don't you think that's cool?
It's very cool. I wish I would have been in on this conversation. What book is it?
I don't know. I think it's a children's book.
Okay.
I think it's a children's book. And she's really good. She sent me a graphic, animation graphic that she did that was awesome. I had to get her to do some for our RV Lifestyle channel here. But anyway, that's how you vote. Elizabeth B is her name. And that's the nice thing about having your own YouTube store. You can do that. So so go up there, rvlifestyle.com/vote. And hopefully I'll be able to put that back up a little bit later on. All right, enough shameless plugs. Back to questions. Maureen, have you ever had the engine light on the Mercedes-Benz come on? And if so, what was the reason? Lots of times. We've had, I guess we have had the DEF light come on in some of our units when there wasn't enough DEF fluid. Now the new 2019 has its own DEF gauge, so you can always see how much you have in it. What other things have come on from it? We had, gosh, I don't remember. We've had it come on a couple of times, and they've been pretty easy to fix. One, I think, was a filter, an air filter someplace.
What about limp home mode?
That was in our first one. The first RV the first Mercedes-Benz we got.
That light came on in little numbers.
That was our 2006 Sprinter, our used one that we bought. Yeah, we had limp home mode come on. I can't remember, Maureen, any of the other ones, but they were all pretty easy. You can just take it into a Mercedes dealer, and they can run a little diagnostic thing. They plug it in, and it'll tell you exactly what it is. And oftentimes it's nothing at all. But I think the biggest thing for me was the DEF warnings I got. And I think it was an air filter, or some kind of an oil filter, maybe. I don't remember. Don't really remember. It doesn't happen very often. So, all right, I'm looking for questions. And I know some of you are typing really long stuff. And here's the thing, because I put up these questions as I'm talking to you, and I don't have time to read the whole questions. So what I will do is look for the word question on it. And then if you ask a question, we can go to it. And if we don't have any, we can come back and take some of the other ones. But the Hoppy Camper, have you heard if LTV will be going back to work this week? Not this week, but soon. The reason they closed production there is because of parts shortages. Many of the parts suppliers, and this is affecting all RV manufacturers, have sent off all their existing inventory, and most of them that are in the U.S. have shut down because of the virus. And they're starting to reopen. Some of the big manufacturers, Thor, Tiffin, Winnebago, have all started up again. I don't know whether Pleasure Way has. And the last I heard from Lisa Travel Van is they're hoping soon, but not. They don't have a date in mind as of yet. So It's not happening. Okay, yeah, John's live show is at 7 p.m. And you can just search New England RV Dealers Association, and they do theirs on Facebook. I've been trying to tell these guys to do it on YouTube for years, but they don't listen. You know, those stubborn Yankees out there in Massachusetts. The thing with Facebook is it's great, but they don't stick around forever. As you get more comments, it disappears. But on YouTube, you can put a playlist, and they're much more evergreen. And I'm also trying to talk John into getting this software that we use to call up your questions. So, and John, I did get your note. I'll send you a note in reply for that. He wanted to know that did a few things. And John, it does. For example, John wanted to know, I'm going to show you all this. He wanted to know if I could run sound and video in there. And yeah, you can. You do something like this. Oh, I can't. I don't have it hooked up. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I don't have it loaded. I don't have it loaded in there. Do I have a video that is up that's there? I don't think I do. Yeah, you have to load it, and I hit the button and it wasn't set. So, but it does. You see the open and the close that we do. That's all video that's pre-written, and sometimes I've shown stories that we've done, but I got to load them in the switcher, and I hadn't done that. So that's pretty funny. All right, question from Debbie Jones. During these trying times, do you have differences? My husband says arguments. That's good. How do you sort these out? For us in Canada, it's looking like we'll be in lockdown until July.
Ooh,
wow,
that's painful.
Yeah.
Hopefully you have a big yard.
I think I'd have some objections to that. I mean, do you have a lot of cases there? Why in July? Anyway, I'm not going to get into that. So do we have differences in arguments? Now that particularly that we're in lockdown?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
I disagree.
Yeah, well, just one I'm thinking of. I exploded when a friend told me something that was going on, and then you told me I had to quit being so knowledgeable about following.
Oh yeah,
following what's going on.
I was trying to give her some nice husband advice that you can have too much information.
It was like the tone of voice. But I exploded because a friend of mine told me what was going on, and I'm just like, I'd already had it, and then she told me one more thing, and I just like, rah, rah.
But my wife has been taking in way too much information.
I've had too much time.
You can't just constantly expose yourself to all that negative stuff.
Right.
Anyway, I suggested that maybe she didn't want to do that, and that was about the last time.
That's what you're going to suggest.
The last time I'm saying anything, man. Guys, you know what I'm talking about, don't you? So it gets funny. Let's see. Well, you didn't type this in question, but you typed it all in caps. So we need to come to Florida Panhandle. If we come, will we have to do a 14-day quarantine? Are the beaches open? The beaches are not open because they don't want you coming. Not yet. When it's open and they say it's okay, come on. And if they talk to you, if they see you, they will ask you to do a 14-day quarantine. It's not mandatory, I don't think, unless you're from New York.
Nobody's checking on you.
I think they are.
But it is a 14-day quarantine.
They're checking Louisiana, and they're checking I-95, that comes down from the north and the northeast. But with Louisiana, it's gotten much better. But Diana, Florida does not want you coming down. And I will tell you will experience hostility. You really will.
What state?
I don't know what state you're from, but if you're from out of state, people don't want.
They see New York, New Jersey, probably Michigan now.
Any state. This is not the time. It's coming quick. They're going to open things up, but they don't want tourists down here. And you can understand why, because Florida, particularly this part of Florida, has done really well. I think we've had 2 deaths now. Second one today of a 90-year-old woman in Okaloosa Island or Okaloosa County. But the reason why is because they've gotten rid of most of the tourists and everybody is staying put. And we have a friend who works at a local supermarket, and he talks about the hostility people have when they see out-of-towners in here. They've asked people to stay home. And so you got to respect that. And it's coming, I think. Ken Cooper says he's planning on camping in the middle of May in Iowa. I think Iowa does not have a stay-at-home order. So, Ken, you're probably fine to do it. And there's somebody who saw our Key West video, and they loved the chickens. So did Bo, right?
Yeah, so did I. They're pretty and they make it fun. You really feel like you're on an exotic island.
Yeah.
Feel like you're far away.
Hi from Marie in Chile, Ohio. We bought a new travel trailer. We want to travel and plan on boondocking. What's the minimum we need to keep our lights on? Love the chats. I think you mean the minimum power in your batteries, but if it's just the lights, most lights, if you haven't, I don't know if you got a new trailer or an older one, but replace the inside lights with LED lights. They take up a little tiny bit of current, and you'll be able to run those lights just fine with whatever you have. I don't know what kind of batteries you have in your unit, whether they're lithium or AGM batteries. But if you're boondocking without any plugins and you have LED lights, you should be fine. Those take very little power at all, and you should be fine for a couple 3 days. It's just doing that. Road trip buddy wants to know what's for dinner. We had dinner.
We had our dinner. We had salad with grilled chicken.
Yep.
That's an easy one.
Is your Southwest trip still on? It's on up here, but I don't see how I could do it, Doug. We were supposed to be there this week. By the way, did you all see that the Super B show is online? If you go to lamesarv.com, lamesarv.com, they're the show organizers. You can get a link to it on their Facebook page, and you can check it out. They're doing it every day, showing a different small motorhome through the end of the month. But we were supposed to be out there for the in-person show. It was canceled. And then we were going to use all that time to tour Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, even a little bit of Southern California. However, we're here in Florida. There's no unnecessary travel, and that is unnecessary travel. So as the days go by, it is less and less likely that we're going to get out there to that Southwest tour. Now, there's something in the back of our schedule that might get us out to New Mexico midsummer, but I don't know yet. And we'd love to do that. We have plans to do, it's almost all research, to do one of our 7-day adventure guides on Arizona. I needed a couple more things from there. And we also want to do one on New Mexico. So it's on our list. We'd love to get there, but I don't know. We just don't know until we see what the travel restrictions are. I am excited to say that our third Florida 7-day adventure guide, which is on Key West, will be out and available in just a couple of weeks. Hopefully next week, maybe the week after, but it's pretty much all done except for some layout issues that we're working on. And that will give us now 3 adventure guides to Florida, one on the Gulf Coast, one on the Atlantic Coast, and then one just on the Keys. So we're pretty excited of that. Those 3 Florida books will have a bundled price for you so you can save money. You can just get the Key West book if that's all you want. That's coming out soon. I should tell you about all of our books. We've got a whole bunch of them, and there's the list for them. It's 7 of them are out there now. We have plans for many more. These are all 7-day adventure guides. They're aimed at getting you out to an area, a region. We give you a route that you can take, 7 different stops, where to see, where to camp, all that stuff. So check it all out, and you'll see lots of neat stuff. And that's where you can find information on all of those books. And on social media, we'll announce and everything. We'll even send out an email when we get the Key West book ready to go. All right, questions. In your opinion, when's the best time of year to go to Key West in our travel trailer?
Well, I think when we went is a good time before it gets too hot,
Early
unless you really
March?
like hot, because I think it's filled. Most of the year you can't get in. So
And
that little bit of time,
a lot of
before it gets too
people,
hot.
a lot of the snowbirds were going home,
Uh-huh.
but we were there in early March. And so they had a few openings, and we had to move around a little bit for the 5 days that we were there. But that's a good time to go. And really, Key West is such, even in the summer, it's very pleasant there because it's got those breezes. And I don't think there's a bad time to go to Key West. Maybe January would be probably but even then it's 70 degrees most days. So it's a great town, perfect climate. Where are you headed first once the country opens back up? Well, as time ticks on, and we get into May or mid-May, we probably are going to have to head back towards Michigan. We have been away from our home, our Sticks and Bricks permanent home there since January, I think. January, February, maybe.
It's been
a
a
long
while.
time. And so we
need
do
to
have
go back.
some stuff we've got to take care of there. We got all the lawn stuff we got to coordinate. So that would get us back there. Then we have some other obligations of travel that we have to do up in that part of the country, up in the Midwest. We are teaching, doing some lectures at least it's on the tap for Lakeside of Ohio, which is the Chautauqua place. We did a video on that when we visited, and they asked us if we'd want to come and do a couple of lectures about our RV lifestyle. And we said, well, sure we would. So, and it's a wonderful place to stay, and we're going to do that, I think, the
first week of August.
First week of August. And then our plans from there are to head up to the north west, eventually making our way through the Canadian Rockies. We were going to do a stop at a rally in Manitoba for leisure travel van folks. We were going to come down through Oregon, Washington, and then make our way through Northern California, camping throughout that region, eventually ending up in Southern California at the California RV Show the first week of October. So as we push towards summer, all the stuff we wanted to do in the Southwest is probably going to get squeezed out, or we're going to have to revise our schedule and do some crazy driving back and forth. So we don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know.
All subject to change.
Yeah. Who would guess how fast things have changed? But that's kind of where we're thinking now. Where's the best place to get a new mattress for our fifth wheel? I don't know.
That's the kind of thing. Go online and ask folks.
Somebody here, somebody in the chat, typing up. Give them. A lot of you I know have bought mattresses. Why don't you give some recommendations for Margaret? Just type it in the chats, and Margaret, follow the chat, and I'll try and put a couple of them up on the screen as I see it. But that's the beauty of these Ask Us Anything, because if we've never ordered a mattress yet for our RV. We've got one, but we don't need to order one. So somebody has, I'm sure, out there, and they'll.
And then it's what kind of mattress you like, whether you want foam or coils or what you'd like.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts on the Winnebago Navion View versus the Unity Murphy bed? Well, we're kind of biased on that because you know what we have. We have a Unity FX with the Murphy bed, and we obviously knew about the Winnebago Navion and the Winnebago View, and we chose the Unity. So,
what about our friend Tom?
Our friend Tom had a Univago Tom McAllister, Tomcat. He's got a blog on that. He had the Navion, I believe. He had one of those two. I don't know. They're both kind of the same. And he traded and now has a Unity. So I can only tell you those experiences. I've been in the Navion. I've been in the View. I think they're really nice units. We've never bought from Winnebago. We've got lots of friends who use Winnebago products. They're such a huge corporation. Personally, we kind of like dealing with smaller and family-run businesses, and that's just a personal preference. And we love the leisure. We've loved the leisure ever since even back in our road truck days, when we first started to see them.
It was
years
love
ago.
at first sight.
Yeah, it has been. It's been kind of like, wow. So, and this one, we bought, and we like their whole model. We also really like the Wonder, the lease travel van Wonder. They're on the Ford Transit chassis. New 2020 Ford chassis. They're starting to build on those. It has all-wheel drive. If they had that when we bought our Unity, I probably would have gone with that. I'm really excited to see this thing when it gets built, and we're looking to see what that Wonder on the 2020 Ford Transit chassis looks like with all-wheel drive. So it's a long way to come around to say that we looked at them both, and we chose for quality and for comfort and reputation, we chose leisure. And I'm not putting a bad vibe at all on Winnebago. We like the Navion, we like the View. I've often suggested it to others as well. So there you go. Let's go for some more questions. Would you wear a mask? Would you wear a mask when you go out?
Yes.
Yeah.
If I'm going to be around people.
Yeah. If we go to a store,
Always in a store.
I didn't last week when I went to Whole Foods, and immediately we ran into two of our followers in Whole Foods. You had one on, and she had one. He didn't have one. I didn't have one.
You did.
But we're very seldom in a store. Maybe once a week.
We're just not going to the store anymore.
I mean, we've really tried to respect what our authorities have said. I may not agree with everything, but that's what they've said, and so we have tried to honor all of that. we're in an area that's not as badly affected as other places, particularly places like Michigan.
Well, that's the Detroit area.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the regulations, the
The
restrictions,
restrictions.
because
Yeah.
some of those make no sense in Michigan. But down here, we're allowed to go to the dog park. The dog park is open. The other parks are closed. The beaches are closed. Most stores are. The
The
restaurants,
playground equipment
yeah,
in the
playground
park is
equipment in the parks
closed.
is closed. So our big outing of the day is to take Bo to the dog park for now a couple of hours every day.
And then to walk Bo in the evening.
We walk up and down some neighborhoods here on the island, and that's about it. And we binge watch a couple of series. I mentioned this Friday night. We finished all 6 seasons, 9 episodes a season, plus the movie of Downton Abbey. And then keeping that British theme, we have now started, and we're on episode 9 of The Crown, which many of you recommended as we talked. And we're really enjoying that, which is the story of really Queen Elizabeth. And I don't know anything about the monarchy, and it's very interesting.
It's really helping me respect and appreciate.
Yeah. Sharon wants to know, do we have any bucket list destinations that you haven't visited yet?
Oh boy, going out west,
Where? You've been everywhere out
well, I
west.
haven't seen everything that I want to see. There's places I want to see. I don't know. My mind's going about 10 places right now. What do you think?
I would say the Maritime. We got 2 areas that are on our list, but here's the difficulty we face.
One's east and one's west.
One's east, one's west. Both of them, to do right, at least the way we travel, would be about a 3-month trip, which means then we couldn't do a lot of the other stuff we do for our income, like making appearances at RV shows and doing some videos that we do on campgrounds and stuff like that. So we need to budget a time. We want to go to Alaska. We've been to Alaska twice.
For work.
Not with the RV. And we would love to just, I've got that trip right up here. But to do it right is a minimum of 3 months for us. Because we shoot, by the way, that's my new camera back there. Isn't that a cool new camera? And we shoot videos all along the way. And it just, 3 months would be pushing it even for us. And then the other place is the Maritimes in Canada. We do have plans to do the Canadian Rockies. We've done Banff and we've done Lake Louise and all that stuff. We'd like to do more of that this year. But those are things. In the U.S., I think we have been everywhere. We would like to go back and maybe see more of areas we visited.
Take our time.
We never seem to be able to take our time.
And then when it gets hot, it makes it hard with the dog.
Yeah.
Because, he's got a big fur coat.
Yeah.
We were in the desert. Our last dog, he wouldn't even come outside.
Let's see. Besides the straight recharging wiring instructions, can you address whether your solar power additions handles the recharging power needs? Address amp hour needs, please. Well, there's a million charts on the internet, Marshall, that will tell you how much everything draws. And you know how many amp hours you have in your batteries. I've got 2 lithium, 100 amps each. So that's 200 amp hours. And how much everything draws. For example, the microwave draws about 1,500 amps. Now, you don't run it 24 hours, but that's a pretty heavy drain. The air conditioner draws about 2,000 amps. I have on our roof 400 watts of solar. And I can only tell you that I've got the RV sitting in our parking lot here. And the sun is shining down, and during the day, if I have stuff I'm using, because we use the RV as a recording studio lots of times, a day's use in the RV will drop my batteries down to 40%, 50% if I'm using it a lot. If I turn on the fans and if we are using it, but the solar panels will charge that up to 100% by 4 o'clock every afternoon. So it's on this great replenishing cycle there, and then you can look up all these charts. You can see how much it takes for your computer. Just look at, there's a million charts out there on the internet like that. So we have 400 watts of solar. We have a 2,000 watt inverter, and for me that's the sweet spot. The only thing I can't run off batteries is air conditioning. Somebody sent me a question today, and they said, "Should I get a 3,000 watt inverter?" Frankly, we have a. I don't think you need it. I mean, if we're really in hot weather, I don't want to be boondocking. Then I want to be in a park where I can plug in and have the air run 24/7. A 3,000 watt inverter is going to still suck those batteries dry fairly quick. To answer your question, you know, don't get a three. You don't need a 3,000 watt inverter. I find 400 watts and two 100 amp hour lithium batteries um, handled it all fine for us. And we do have an onboard generator, a 3,500 watt generator, which is I ran it yesterday just to exercise it, and it's pretty quiet. It's not as now loud. We've had generators on other RVs we've had, and it's noticeably quieter. I don't think I'd want it to run all night long, particularly if and if there's nobody around, I suppose it's fine. But if it's noisy, you do hear it. So anyway, that's our system: 400 watts of solar, two 100-watt lithium batteries, and it works great. It works great for us. So let's see. And I'm looking, some of you asking questions. Can you rent a Classi somewhere on the beach in Florida? Is that something someone can do mainly to experience living in RV? It's our thought of retirement. Not on the beach. There's only where you can rent it. There's a couple of campgrounds that are near the beach. Um,
They only have a couple of spots, like on the sand, but you're close to the beach.
and your best way to rent an RV is to use one of the peer-to-peer services like Outdoorsy, RV and Go, RV Share. You rent a unit from someone who is an owner and just doesn't happen to be using it. And then you could go to a place like Camp Gulf, which is not too far from us in Miramar Beach, Florida. It's a long, skinny campground. And they have about 10, 12 spots right on the water. There's a couple
And
of
you can't
pictures of
have a
it.
dog if you're right on the
You can't have a
sand.
dog because no dogs are allowed on the beach there. And it costs, I don't know how much a
It's
night,
expensive. It's over 100, I believe.
150 or something like that a
It's
night.
expensive.
And it costs a lot to rent an RV. Now people say, well, why does it cost so much? Well, it costs so much because the demand is so high. And I'm asked often with what's going to happen because of this RV to the RV industry once everything opens up again. And what does that mean? And I've been saying it's going to mean RVs are going to be more expensive. Dealers are going to be less inclined to give you deals unless you're buying from inventory, and it's going to take longer to get. Already there is a backlog. Then they all shut down, most of them now for a month. The parts people got to get up and building to get these things building again. The demand is huge. You rightly called this right away about cruise ships and
Right. I said, I don't think anybody's going to want to go on a cruise ship right away. And I don't think you're going to want to jump on a plane and fly, to Africa or Europe or somewhere else.
so as a result of that, a lot of people are going to say, "Hey, let's stay in our own country and let's get an RV." And there's just a huge demand for it. And I mean, I'm thinking, our friend Nick Schmidt, who's one of our sponsors from Sunshine State RVs across the state in Gainesville, Florida. There, Nick has he has a deal where he's been selling them right along the line. He's closed. I mean, you don't walk in off the street, but people are calling him, and he's going out and doing video tours. This is how he's adapting, and people are buying them sight unseen with his video tours, and he delivers them. Then he's had a thing that he was looking for drivers. He's had them in 4 or 5 states. He's delivering them this next week. So the demand is huge, huge, and it's only going to get bigger. So that's our thoughts. Hey, David and Brenda voted. Thank you so much, David and Brenda. Let me tell everybody about that again for some new people. This is a shameless plug, so don't get mad at me, but it's my granddaughter, and I certainly can plug my granddaughter. My granddaughter is in an online competition, and the winner is determined by online votes. So if you go to that address, I've kind of made a shortened link to it. It actually will transfer you over to the right site, but it's that long of a URL if I put it up. And vote for her. Her name is Elizabeth, and you'll see her little note there, Elizabeth B. Just vote for her. And if she wins that, she gets to illustrate a book. And she's pretty talented. She's a great artist, and that's her goal. And she really wants to illustrate that book. And what the heck? I got a lot of nice people out there, and I said, I'll put it up. So I can help me be a hero to my granddaughter, and go to that address and vote her, so she can get that contest won. I don't know how long it's for. Hopefully, it's not too long. Okay, let's get all right. Let's see. Here's the question: Can you update Cade ZRH email and QRZ? I would like to forward end of summer camper invite. Um, maybe someday. That's forever. You don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about ham radio, and that's a directory of ham radio stuff. But you can find my email right here. Send it to me here. Uh, Ham radio is about as far from my mind these days. It's gonna be, I will say that one of the reasons I want to go back to Michigan is so I can play ham radio a little bit more. I have a pretty good station there, but I'll do it whenever I get a chance. But just send me it through here, man. If you got an invite, that's great. We would love to get together. I would love to go to a ham radio gathering with my RV. That would be a lot of fun. I could play with
You
it.
and Bo.
Me and Bo. I'd have to take Bo.
Yes.
I can't leave him home with you.
Like taking the kid.
Okay, so send it along. I'm anxious. Linda, I know you guys love to boondock and currently have lithium and solar. Do you see yourself upgrading your current capacity? I don't think so. Do you think we need it?
No.
I don't. Sometimes I even wonder if I need what we have, because it's worked so well for us. I think what we have is the ideal situation for us: the two Battleborns and a 2,000 watt inverter and 400 watts of solar. Would I like more? Yeah, I think probably, but do I need more? I don't think so.
We can work our microwave. I can work the hair dryer.
Yeah,
toaster.
Those are the big
without
things.
Being plugged in.
The only thing we can't work
is the AC.
And we don't need it very much. Edward says there are 2 Elizabeth B's to vote on.
Oh no!
I have no idea. It's that link I just sent you to. That's the one you vote for.
Ooh,
so go to that link.
What do about this?
That's the only one that counts. Go to that one, and there's only one there. So I don't know. In addition to your awning, do you use anything like an easy up? No, we have thought about it. We thought about even getting one of those little tents that go around the picnic table.
Yeah, boy, once you get, surrounded by insects, you want one of those.
And particularly the camping, we anticipate we'll be out there in June, early July, and we'll probably be doing some stuff in Michigan, northern Michigan. Wow, the mosquitoes up there, that's a state bird. They're big.
Yeah, we had said we were not going to northern Michigan.
But that easy up is cool.
July.
It just pops right up. It goes really quick. That's pretty good. James wants to know what DEF is. It's diesel exhaust fluid, and it's emissions control thing that the EPA mandated, and it's a fluid that you have to replace. In my case, about every 4,000 to 5,000 miles, I've got to put in a jug of it, and it's just EPA stuff. But that's good. Let's look for your questions. Dan says in it. Oh, he just asked me that. Got the idea from your Key West video that it's overpriced. Would you ever want to return to the city? Oh yeah, I would.
But it's expensive. Yeah. I mean, you need to know that going in. Wasn't it about $150 a night at Boyd's?
Yeah, it was about $150 a night at Boyd's. It cost us $100 to go on the trolley tour. It cost pretty much $15 for every museum.
And if you go on the trolley tour, get off at every stop.
Yeah, don't go the whole thing.
We did the whole loop, and that it was uncomfortable.
And food costs. It's an island. Was it 2 by 6 miles?
Yeah,
something like that. So
2 by 4.
2 by 4. So it's it is expensive, but just know that going in. And we also mentioned that it was very difficult when we were there. There was no parking on the streets, none. It was all taken up. Others have said, "Oh, we had no problem with our Class B." Well, it depends on what time of year, I guess, you go and where you look. $4 an hour to park if you can find a spot.
$4 or $5.
Well, $4 on the street was $5 in that parking lot down by Mallory Square.
Okay, that's what got me confused.
So, is it overpriced? It's a tourist town, and that's what.
And it depends on if you're from the east or if you're
from
the
from
Midwest.
the east, it's cheap, or the West
from
Coast.
The Midwest.
Yeah.
I mean, like when I first had to pay for a taxi, I didn't know how to pay for a taxi. I didn't know how much to tip them because we don't use taxis.
Yeah, we don't in the back of the thing.
In the Midwest.
And let's see. Tracy Miller says, "Hey, Mike and Jen from the Southern Adirondacks. We're thinking of buying a small trailer, like a 13-foot. What are the drawbacks buying a used camper as opposed to a new one? Since you want to try it out, the drawbacks, a new one is you're going to spend a whole lot more. And what if you don't like it? So buy a used one. You'll be able to sell it.
Too bad you can't borrow one from somebody and try it.
Yeah, yeah. I think the thing I would suggest is really check it over, smell it, make sure there's no mold, look for water damage, that kind of stuff. If it's got a lot of canvas on it, if it's got any canvas on, I don't think a trailer would have canvas on it, so that's probably not a thing. I'm thinking of a camper, but just make sure that look at the floor. Don't look for soft wood. You don't want if the wood is all soft and mushy. That's a sign of a leak.
Depends on what you can
But
afford.
if
Are you prepared to lose 25% when you drive it off the lot? Uh, do you need something that doesn't have any nasty chemicals in it, for your breathing? There's little things.
yeah, do you think we'll have a focus to buy RVs made in the USA after the lockdown? Um, well, right now the ones that you're buying are either from the USA or Canada.
What always
And
drove me
Canada is
crazy
great. I
about
have no problem buying from
trying to
Canada.
buy cars or anything USA is that, you're trying to buy and then you find out this part's made here and this part's made there. And it's like the parts are made everywhere. It's hard to buy 100%
Yeah,
from the States.
it is. And
And
that's the truth. Parts are made from all over the world, but
and we just saw a code last night for trying to figure out, somebody posted a code for when you buy things and you want to know where it's made.
the barcode. If it
Yeah.
starts with
Zero.
if it starts with 6, it's from China. If it starts with
Zero,
0,
it's the
it's
States
from
or
the States or
Canada.
Canada. Yeah, I consider Canada and the U.S. as the same. I mean,
Oh, they're going to get all the Canadians mad at us.
well, I'm talking about buying.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for buying to answer the question. No, they're very different. And
Two
different in
separate
good ways.
countries.
In good ways. I
Yeah.
feel I half feel like a citizen of Canada. We've spent so much time there. We really
have.
love Canada. And we're
Made a lot of friends
we
there.
have. So buy from in North America. You're buying it's built either in the U.S. or in Canada. And I don't think that I think people will
Being
love
from
that.
Michigan, it used to get your car trashed if it wasn't made
Yeah.
in the States.
Yep. Do you ever think Leisure will ever make a van with 2 Murphy beds? I don't know. Ask them. They could, I guess, but I doubt it. Most of these vans are not equipped to sleep 4 or 5 people. It's usually 2 people or maybe 2 people and a small kid or something on a coach. That's probably I think their sweet spot. And I don't know anything about what their plans are for the future. So you can ask them, but that's my guess if I had a guess. Can I use a Class B camper van with solar only and no propane? Um, well, you gotta. We sure you can. You can have an electric induction cooktop, and the solar, and it all runs off the batteries or plugged in. So yeah, many of them are like that. You don't have to have propane.
Well, am
And if
I
you have a
wrong?
generator, it would run off diesel or gas instead of the propane. So it depends on what manufacturer. But yes, you do not have to have propane.
I know a lot of people don't want propane because they're afraid it's going to explode somewhere down the line. But I kind of like the idea of having different options for fuel.
Yeah.
For, like the refrigerator, everything.
Kate, you familiar with Alligator Point Beach in Florida in Franklin County? Yep. And Panhandle. Actually, it's not in the Panhandle. It's what they call the elbow, the Big Bend area of Florida, where it kind of hooks down around
The armpit?
the armpit. Yeah, that's what you call it.
No, that's what other people call it. No, that's not
yeah.
nice.
It's also known sometimes as the Forgotten Coast. And if he
These are all
says,
names that
if
make
yes,
you a
they
little
allow
nervous.
dogs? Question mark. Came upon it today as I'm looking to move from Fort Myers Beach to a very quiet beach. I don't know whether they allow dogs. Probably. Usually in the smaller areas, they're not so rural centric. We stay just up from there, just a few miles from Alligator Point. One of our favorite parks is called the Ho Hum Park.
Just for adults.
It's just
no
for
kids.
adults, 55 and older. I didn't know that until the second time we stayed there, but you can take dogs on the beach there. So I would be surprised if you can't. And it's kind of an area. We like that whole hum. We have a video. If you look here in the channel, it's the one we called The Drive to the Forgotten Coast. And we also have them featured in one of our 7-day adventure guide books too. So you can check all of that up. I'm kind of looking. Have you ever seen the poppy fields of Lancaster in PA? I think Lancaster, Pennsylvania. I guess you mean. I don't know. No,
We
never
haven't
have.
seen.
Never have.
I bet it's pretty.
Karen wants to know when the Key West ebook would be released. Soon. And I think I said that last week, but uh, it takes a lot more than people think. I mean, we put these books out really quick. We've got a pretty good system, but now we're in the final phases of layout and a couple of those things, and which then we have to go back and check the links. The beauty of an ebook is we can put a link to a video, and you can use the ebook and click right from it and go to that video. So it becomes a really dynamic resource. And we're going back. We're just checking all of that, and I expect it maybe this week, the week after for sure. And if you are on our mailing list, if you subscribe to our newsletter, you'll get notified when it's out. And I should probably put that up. That's how you sign up for our newsletter. We have a newsletter that comes out every Monday morning. I just finished it before we went on the air tonight. And there's always lots of interesting stuff there and links. And if you're a part of our community, of our RV lifestyle community, and that's how you join right up there, you'll get notified as soon as that book is out. So
That
sign up.
comment about the beaches in Sarasota being closed.
Down in Florida, south of Tampa there, the Sarasota County, closed beaches there.
I think it's just one area, isn't there, right now that the beaches are open?
The only place in Florida that I know that are open right now is Jacksonville on the Atlantic side.
And if you heard us talking about our surfboard rider out here, he shouldn't have been doing that. I mean, he was, like I say, like a streaker. He was out there and back. I think he just couldn't control himself anymore with the waves.
Here's a question about the Super B site. There is the address right there. If you go to that address, you can sign up and you can watch the virtual version of the Super B show. They're doing it on Facebook Live at 10 a.m. every morning, Pacific time, 10 a.m. Pacific time. And they're doing it every day, featuring a different RV, kind of a virtual tour, and then live questions and answers. And that's from our friends at La Mesa RV in Phoenix. So check that out, the Super B show. It's pretty good. They're doing, trying to be creative in this time when we're all down. I give them applause. So this is always the time where I should ask people if they would give us a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to thumbs up. Google loves that when you do a thumbs up. And Michelle says they had planned a trip out to Arizona and Utah, and we're hoping to run into us. Well, Michelle, we still hope to get out there. We were in Arizona, as many of you know, in February.
And I'm so glad we flew out there for a week.
We ended up, it was funny because we were thinking of coming straight down here to Florida, and we said, we got an extra week, and we had some friends who were out at Quartzsite, and they said, you should come out here. And we always said, we don't want to go to Quartzsite, so many people. And they said, no, the big show ended, and there's nobody here. So we actually flew out and borrowed a friend's RV and spent a week in Quartzsite in the desert, down by and even down into Tucson, and just had a ball.
We loved it. It was so peaceful, and it was so much fun.
Yeah.
Just really glad we got that weekend.
Yeah. Ivan asked about our thoughts on the Winnebago Navion View and the Unity. Ivan, I answered that way earlier. So if you want to go back,
accidentally had to go twice.
Scroll back here, and you can check on that. Let's see. Somebody says some serious weather headed our way. I think it's kind of gone off to the north of us, but
someone had said that earlier over in Louisiana, that it was headed towards us all day. We've supposed to have gotten bad weather, and it's been north of us.
Yep.
It's passed us by. I mean, the sky is pretty black.
Yeah, it has been. It's been great. We haven't had any rain at all, and we're looking to go for a walk here in a couple minutes. So we're going to give that a try as soon as we go off the air. I shouldn't.
Oh, finally got tired and laid down.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
That means he's going to be very well rested for our walk. On the lookout for cats.
Yeah. All right, I'm looking for questions. You're coming to Massachusetts. We'd love to have you stop in. I don't think we're going to be there this year.
I'd like to go to Massachusetts.
I know.
I love out east.
Our problem in traveling is we get so excited about it. We'll be in Utah, and somebody will say, you should come to Massachusetts, and we'll look at each other, okay, and we'll drive all the way there, and then somebody will say, hey, you should be up in Minnesota, and we'll drive. And I mean, we have been We've had this RV for a year, and we've got over 25,000 miles on it.
I can honestly say I love this country.
Yeah.
I think every state has lots to
And
offer.
it's kind of interesting because we think
I should say
that,
Canada too. I don't get up to Canada that much. I don't want the Canadians getting mad at me.
and whenever we hear of a city or something in the news, someplace, we know that place, and we kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel like the whole continent, all of North America, we feel like it's our home now. That's the thing about RV traveling, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, some of you are asking the same questions twice, and let's go through. Um, Gosh, how do you answer that question? Out of all the years you and Jen have been RVing, what is your favorite place you've gone so far? What's the trip you're waiting to go in the future? We kind of answered that with Alaska and the Maritimes.
Yeah, that's
If
where
we
we
can,
want to go.
if we can get those 3 months cleared from our schedule, so we can have 3 uninterrupted months to do them both. I think I didn't mention Hawaii. We were invited and have the use of an RV in Hawaii. And that's where we had a week, and we were going to do
Yeah.
that when we went to Quartzsite, but we realized that wasn't enough time with
Yeah, I
all the
didn't want to
travel.
fly that far
So
for
maybe
so
maybe
few
RVing
days.
in Hawaii would be fun, and we'll have to
I know
revisit
that would
that.
be fun.
And the
It's
places
not
that are
fun to get there.
favorite, you know, I can't pick a winner, but Utah, just about any place in Utah. Yellowstone, of course, because that's the granddaddy of all of our national parks. Yosemite's great. Glacier National Park, we love Glacier.
Didn't you
Um,
tell me that Yellowstone isn't going to open till July
it's
this
a
year?
story that was out last week. They didn't think it would open until late June or maybe July because of this situation that we're in
And the
now.
animals, they're going to be used to having no people.
Charles asked, do you think a Verizon phone tethered, using it as a personal hotspot, would work as well as the Verizon MiFi while RVing? Um, no, I don't. And I've tried that myself a couple of times. I use the MiFi, and it just seems to get and maybe it's just me, but it seems to get a much more stable connection, and I think a little faster connection than when I try and access the internet through the phone. If you're just starting off, try it with your phone at first, because why? Even though you can get a MiFi card for nothing, I think it costs $49, and they'll waive that, and then it's $5 extra or something for the data. And I don't know what the pricing is. It's all it's cell phone, but they change the pricing every 2 days. But try it tethered, see what you think, and then if you have some issues with that, then go for the MiFi card. We've used the MiFi card all 9 years and have nothing but good things to say for it. Have you ever been to Corn Palace and Wall Drugs?
Yes, we
Of
have.
course, multiple times. In fact, on the way there or on the way back, and sometimes both, we on the way out west, we stop and visit both of them.
Isabella.
So yeah, and the Corn Palace, we stay. We always do a free overnight in Mitchell, South Dakota, there at the Cabela's. There's a
Mm-hmm.
Anytime Fitness right next to Cabela's.
And there's a big car wash.
It's a big car wash because we almost always are stuck
Get the
with that
bugs.
hatch of the bugs as we're driving the interstate there and get the bugs off. So we know Mitchell, South Dakota well. And Wall Drugs you got to go to Wall Drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm looking for your questions. Would you ever consider LTV island bed over the one you have? Um,
Sure.
yeah, yeah. We thought that looked really nice. We like the one we have because it gives us the two separate areas to work, the rear and the front. In fact, I'm working a story for the Leisure Travel Van blog that shows how and where we work and all that stuff. And I really do like that. It's really good. Uh, is it an all-weather unit? Not ours, no. And I don't know of any true all-weather units in Class B or B plus motorhomes. And
Isn't it
by that it
strange?
means,
It's almost 8 o'clock and we start getting fuzzy.
well, it's getting
I
darker.
know.
It's getting darker, and so we don't have great light. Uh, so let's see. Uh, I'm looking at lots of you talking about the Key West video. Thank you guys for all the nice comments of that. Uh,
You got to understand that golf cart with Bo.
you got to see that Key West video for
Every
that.
time we hit a bump, Bo wanted to abandon ship.
David, what kind of camera equipment do you use, and what kind of mics do you use with your cameras? Here's the mic. Oh, the microphone. Well, there's my new camera right there. I just got that camera this week, and I'm replacing the other camera on the side. That is the Canon R, and it has a 24 to 105 millimeter lens. The 24 is what I use when I hold it out and we do our little selfies. Spectacular imaging with that. It replaces a camera, the Canon EOS M50, which I've used for the last 3 years. It's got a little wider kit lens than that. I think it's 15 millimeters. And it does a great job too. I'll use that as a backup.
It was starting to have a nervous breakdown.
Who is?
Your old camera.
Yeah, it was starting to get focus. And yeah, it was going out of focus. I mean, we work cameras really hard. And but I think we'll use that as a backup. Jennifer will maybe carry that while I use this one right here, the new one. I'd go get it and bring it over to you. But it's so funny you asked that, because I have one video on the Leisure blog this week, about how we work from the road. They thought that would be interesting if we shared that with people, because everybody's working remotely these days. And then they asked if I would do one on all of the camera gear and all of the technology that we use. And I said, well, okay, it's going to be long. And they said, well, we don't care. So it is long. I just wrote that, and I think that'll go up in a week or so. And I list all my cameras, 6 of them we use, 6 different cameras.
Sounds like a Saturday video.
Yeah, I think it'd be boring, though. Don't you think? You guys tell me. I mean, I think
it would not be boring.
I think
You'd
people,
like that.
I don't think people would like it.
I think
this is probably the biggest surprise. We use this camera with these 3 lenses, the iPhone 11. The Key West video, I shot the whole video on this because we had some problems with the old camera that I had. I shot the whole video on that.
And you were going to upgrade my phone, but then the virus hit.
I was going to get her one, and then we would have 2
good
of these.
cameras.
The cameras are awesome, but the virus hit and I couldn't get it. And of course, they make those in China, and that's all shut down. Hey, Joyce says she just voted. One last pitch for it, and I promise I won't do this anymore.
I bet he does.
I might. This is for my granddaughter. They all understand that. My granddaughter, Elizabeth, is in a competition. The more votes she gets, the winner gets online votes, gets to illustrate. I think it's a children's book. She is a great artist, wants to illustrate that book, and that's the career she wants. So I said, hey, I'm going to tell everybody about it. So I just told you about it. You go up there right there and check it out. Go to rvlifestyle.com, vote. It'll take you to the right page, and vote for her name is Elizabeth B. And just vote, and it will be great. All right, I'm about 50 comments behind in the live stream, Phyllis tells me, and I'm just going through really quick. And let's see. This is a good question on one we have. Is the leisure van with a lounge in back with 2 windows?
Oh,
that's my son, Jeff.
It's our son calling us. Oh.
Hey, Jeff. Oh, that's my son, Jeff, and Jax. I'm just showing you to everybody. You're all on our YouTube channel because we're live. Hey, Jax. How you doing, buddy?
Well, maybe we're going to.
So we're going to hang up with Jax, then we'll hang up with you, and then we'll call Jeff back.
We'll call you right back in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. It's going to be terribly rejected by his grandparents. So
I know. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but I'm pushing my granddaughter's votes there, and that was my other son. So that's it. So we are going to get out of here. It is after 8 o'clock anyway, and Patty says, how many months do you spend traveling? We're on the road about three quarters of the time. So that's a lot. When you're out at quartzsite, were you worried about freezing temperatures? Not at all.
It was cold at night, but we were warm.
It got cold, but we didn't have to worry about winterizing, anything like that. It was great. Last questions. Let me see one more, and then we will get out of here. I think we're good. All right, we're good. So listen, you guys, thank you so much, and thank you for putting up with me urging to go vote for my granddaughter's illustration project.
And now we got to go see the Jacks before he feels
rejected. I got to call him back because it's almost bedtime for him back in Michigan. Then we got to take Bo for a walk.
It's past
Newsletter's out tomorrow. Go to the newsletter, and if you haven't seen it, see our Key West video. It's up here in the channel. And meantime, we love you guys very much, and we will see you down the road. Thank you so much.
Happy trails.